Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over the highlights from the almost 2-hour Google I/O keynote. There's a lot to cover, let's get into it. Almost the entire presentation was about AI, and Gemini is the brand name that Google has been using for their flagship AI models. And almost the entire presentation was a review of their major Google products and how they plan to incorporate Gemini capabilities into them. It was basically a whirlwind tour of Google product capabilities. Sundar started with an overview tease of major announcements and then quickly started handing off the presentation to various Google employees to cover each topic in more detail. The standard keynote practice. Apple's been doing it for years and Google did the same. The first major announcement was a new feature for Google Photos called Ask Photos, which allowed for natural language querying of photo albums. You could ask something like, show me all my photos from my last vacation in Hawaii, or when did my child first ride a bike? I think it's helpful, definitely useful for people with a lot of pictures, which is pretty much everyone now. Not that earth-shattering. I mean, it looked very useful, but I don't think it was groundbreaking. The second announcement was about increasing the context window for Gemini from 1 million tokens to 2 million tokens. The context window and the number of tokens refers to the length of the prompt for the model. It seems pretty clear that Google sees the context window size as a key differentiator for them. This makes sense as Google was built on the ability to scrape the entire internet and then make that information accessible through search. So it seems like they've carried this thinking over into AI development. Big content input and then be able to use that information. It's basically the same thing they've done with search they're bringing to AI. Next up was a feature demo of Notebook LM, where a chatbot could basically have an audio conversation with you about the contents of a notebook, similar to like a virtual research assistant experience. You upload a lot of content to the notebook and then the model can converse with you about it. Interesting, perhaps helpful. Not sure where that's going to go, if that's going to be a major product win for them. Next was a very quick mention of AI agents, which was rather high level. I'm not sure if this is an actual product or more of a conceptual idea about how Google is thinking about employing AI task bots. It seemed like they were talking about robotic process automation, but again, it was very high level. I believe this is the part where they showed things like an automated address change notification. So if you're moving, updating all your information at various places you do business, I'll believe that when I see it. It didn't seem real. It seemed high level. It just seemed like something they wanted to show as something they'd like to build. The next item was very interesting, Project Astra. They showed a pre-recorded demo of a multimodal personal assistant basically doing what OpenAI demoed on Monday. It was tagged as still a work in progress. And part of the demo included an experience using glasses as an input device. We all remember Google Glass. And it seems like that may be poised for a comeback some 10 years later. It'll be interesting. Then Google brought out some artists who I'm sure were paid handsomely for their time to demo 3 new generative AI technologies: music, images, and video. We've seen this before. The video generation is impressive. They're limiting access to these tools for now, so we won't really get hands-on. But the video, I think everybody's impressed by video generative AI, especially I think OpenAI's Sora model is quite impressive. At this point, Google shifted into discussion about AI hardware, new chips available from NVIDIA and Google for cloud customers. Google's new Trillium tensor processing unit will be available late this year, and NVIDIA's Blackwell will be available in 2025 for Google Cloud customers. Now, more than halfway through the presentation, we finally get to search, the big money maker for Google. Honestly, I think they buried the search stuff intentionally. What they showed was not that compelling. It appeared to be basically the next iteration on the Google search experience. They showed how Google could summarize search results and answer multiple questions at once. They demoed how a search for a yoga studio would provide a ton of details right in the search results page. I think that's a potential problem for Google. I'll talk about it a little bit more later, but they demoed how the search results page could be useful and actually not require a click to the underlying site that provided the data. I think that might be a problem. They also demoed a search with video feature that looked like a more rudimentary version of what OpenAI demoed on Monday. The experience was basically record a video, send it to Google, and get a page of text back. So helpful, but Not as compelling as the OpenAI demo from Monday. Next was Gemini for Workspace. Reminds me of Microsoft Copilot, generative AI in your documents, AI to analyze spreadsheets for you. They did demo a virtual AI teammate that could be created, configured, and join a team with a configurable mission. What do you want this AI teammate to do? They showed how this teammate could perform the task of the role of a project manager. Sorry for you project managers out there, but AI is coming for you. And basically the bot was keeping track of task progress, issues, providing updates, providing solutions and options. So it was interesting. I'm not sure how many people want to work on a team with AI bots, or if you have a whole team of bots, what that might do. They showed a demo of Gemini summarizing email threads from your inbox. Smart, probably helpful, not too different from things we've seen before. The Gemini app itself was next. They showed a multimodal personal assistant similar to the OpenAI demo from Monday. They said this experience would be available, quote, later this year. So rather vague there. I think they're still playing catch up with OpenAI on this. Gems, also got to mention, Gems are configurable, customizable, tailored AI assistant on specific topics or help in certain ways. So kind of a make your own AI type scenario. And then finally, about 2/3 of the way through the keynote, we get to Android. The discussion here was also laser focused on how AI features would be incorporated into Android. They showed a circle to search feature where you can circle an image and prompt Gemini with it. They showed how a user can pull up Gemini over documents and use the AI to find and pull out specific information from, an 80-page PDF. Interestingly, they showed Gemini Nano, an on-device AI model that can be used when you need to keep the data on the phone. They demoed a live phone call where Gemini listened in on the conversation and raised a red flag to the user when the conversation became obviously a scam call trying to get the user to move money between bank accounts. Google might have a challenge here, just reputationally, with how they handle personal data. People might not be convinced that this data is going to stay on device, but it's at least a nod to Apple's discussion about privacy and its importance. And then lastly, they covered off on developers. They announced that Gemini 1.5 Pro and Flash are available now for developers. Flash being the faster inference time model for real-time interactions. They demoed how you can easily create your own AI by uploading content and getting API keys. They also mentioned some new versions of their free and open source Gemma models. And that's it. That's the keynote. A couple of thoughts right off the bat. I think they made some head nods to Wall Street. They clearly wanted to message that they've been doing AI for a long time. They actually counted the number of times AI was mentioned in the keynote, and it was like 120. It's funny. At least they acknowledge it. But they mentioned that, we've been doing AI for a decade, trying to make the case that they're really experts in the space. They clearly don't want to be seen as missing the boat on AI. I think Facebook has a challenge here, the strategy of kind of salting the earth. I think that's going to run out of steam as these new experiences are moving beyond a simple LLM. So Facebook has their Llama models that they've given away for free, open source. But I don't think those experiences are, the use of that is going to nearly as compelling as these integrated, multimodal, connected to all your services. These experiences that like an Apple or a Google can make, I think is just, I don't know that Facebook's strategy of giving away language models is really going to help them that much. I think we're going to quickly see that these AIs are connected. The power is when you connect it into your life, your ecosystem. It's kind of scary, but I think that's where we're headed. I'm still not convinced that Google is prepared to fight against OpenAI and protect their search revenue. Google created a monopoly on search because they had the cleanest UI. They didn't commingle ads with the results. And they had a halo from PageRank providing the best results. OpenAI and ChatGPT, I think, currently have that halo space. They're kind of thought of the innovators and the leaders in the space with ChatGPT. That's kind of the name brand AI right now. But Google's clearly in the fight. It's still early stages, way too soon to call a winner, and I still don't know, we still don't know what Apple is going to do. I guess we should get a glimpse of that at WWDC in June. But that's it. That's the Google I/O keynote. Everything you need to know. That's all I've got. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks.